Welcome back to Tuesdays with Tony. It's Thursday, and again, I'm not Tony, but my name is Vinnie Pinella, and this is episode number 7. I have a couple of things I want to talk about. One is that on June 2nd at the store here all day, we're having a sale on Yamaha Pro instruments. It's a double rebate sale, so it'll be $200 off any Pro horn you choose to buy. That's number one. Number two, I want to reiterate that we want your feedback as much as possible. Questions, feedback. We're starting to get some, but we'd like more. We'll get as detailed as you want. It doesn't have to be me, giving out the information. We have sources for brass, wood, strings. But anyway, that's my next point. Is last week I talked about a mouthpiece placement on the neck of the saxophone, and I did mention that you would get, if your mouthpiece was in the correct spot of the neck of an alto, that was a concert A flat. You would get a concert A flat. I can show you. But I neglected to talk about the tenor. On the tenor, if your mouthpiece is in the right spot with a good relaxed embouchure, you would get a concert E, which would be an F sharp in B flat, of course. So again, last week we talked about. This is from Jerry Baganzi, by the way. A lot of this stuff that I'm going to talk about in the next few minutes is from Jerry. But again, with a good embouchure, a good relaxed embouchure, you would get hopefully a concert A flat. It's kind of like a little sharp. And you would get that same pitch here, here, and upside down here. Right? And what does that prove? Relaxed embouchure. So, as little, as much as relaxed as you can, as little lower lip as possible, real natural face position. Okay, that's that. I just wanted to get in the fact that the tenor was a constant E if the mouthpiece is in the right spot. So we did, we got a request from Aaron in Norwell, and he wanted me to talk a little bit about improvisation. Well, I could talk about improvisation for days and days and not hit on everything. But I did want to just show you this one thing that I've been doing. It comes from Jerry Baganzi, who is a master teacher and certainly a master musician, saxophone player. Everyone should have all of Jerry's books. This is a Jerry plug. But for real, I mean, they're absolutely incredible. All of them. He's written 7 books. So anyway, this is what this is I guess you'd call it voice leading, a voice leading technique. But it's also a way of organizing your thought process, and it's also a way of sort of arriving at a destination as you play. And I picked this because it pertains to beginner students, beginner improvisers, and I would say even more advanced improvisers. And what it is you pick on the downbeat of the change, of the chord change. You start off by playing the root on the downbeat and everything else you have. And then the next step is to play the third and everything else you have regarding vocabulary, your vocabulary. So whatever that means. That means all that you have in there as your melodies and your rhythmic things and so forth and so on. So I'm going to just demonstrate it real quickly. I want to demonstrate it on a tune. It's the A section of a tune called Killer Joe, where there are 2 chord changes. Killer Joe, where there are 2 chord changes, and those chord changes are C7 for the first measure, and then B flat 7 for the second measure, and then it just continues. So it's you'll hear it. So it's like C7, B flat 7, C7, and that's all you hear. And what I'm going to play for you, I'm going to talk and run this vamp at the same time. I'll make this as short as I can, because we have to bring on our special guest. Let's see here. So this is, I've looped this, and this is a play. This is a Jamie Ebersol play along. So this is Killer Joe. Killer Joe. First day going. That's a great thing to do. When you do it with a tune with a lot of changes, it's just absolutely wonderful. And even if you can just hit that guy or do your best, it changes your thought pattern. It changes the way the line flows. Again, it's about, to me at least, this is about arriving at a certain place, thinking about where you're going. So I hope that was helpful. Yeah, I hope that was. Also, let me say that, for you more beginner type students, rhythm is everything. Rhythm is everything. So if you want to take that same exercise and just create a basic rhythm. You know, it could be da ba boo dee, ba boo da, do ba boo dee, ba boo. You know. So anyway, that's that. Let me put this away. So let me bring on my guest for today, and my guest is Joe Brogan.
Hey, how are you? That was great exercise for me.
Yeah, thank you very much. You can sit down.
Sure.
So Joe is Joe works here at David French Music. When did you start?
Started last January. Not this past January, but January 2017.
Okay, right.
So I've been here a little over a year.
Yeah, and
it's been good times.
We love having Joe here. Joe's a good guy.
Love being here.
And yeah. So anyway, so you grew up in.
I grew up in Wilmington, Massachusetts. I played trumpet.
Yeah.
I started playing in about 3rd grade. Played in elementary schools in Wilmington and in the middle schools. And then I went to high school at the River School in Weston, and they have a great music program there. That's kind of the beginnings anyway.
Yeah.
Then I went to, if we're going to keep going with the whole music education thing, I did a year at a Hart School of Music at the University of Hartford, trying to do music ed. Didn't quite like it. That was just me. And then transferred over to Berkeley and finished out there.
So Jackie McLean wasn't there then? Is that what Jackie? Is that
over at Hart?
Yeah.
He may have been there at the time. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't even into.
Oh, you were.
I was doing like ed,
Yeah.
and like a lot of classical stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like contemporary jazz and stuff like that.
It's a great program.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
So and your dad.
Yes.
His name is also Joe Brogan.
Yes, my dad's name is also Joe Brogan, and he's a music educator. And he went to Berkeley the same time you did, all the time. He was like the best ever, best teacher.
You know his son. You know his grandson.
I know. Yeah, Rob Viola. I know his grandson.
So tell me about. And you were in there was an MDC thing that your dad had, right?
So there was a city or state organization called the MDC, the Metropolitan District Commission.
I remember that.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Now it's the DCR, the
Okay.
Department of Conservation and Recreation. But when it was called the MDC, they hired a high school marching band / concert band that my dad was in charge of. He directed it and he conducted it. So throughout the years in high school, I got to know a lot of different kids and stuff. So yeah, Rob Viola, Joe Viola's grandson, was in that group.
Yeah.
And so was I. And I still run into kids, well, not kids anymore, but I run into old friends all the time who are now like music educators in Massachusetts, or people who like know my dad and stuff like that. So it's been really
great
cool.
Summer job and you get paid for it.
Yeah, we got paid for it. Yeah, great summer job for a high school kid. Oh yeah.
Young lad.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
really
great. Let me see if I missed anything.
Yeah.
You were also in the WYW.
My week, yeah, back in high school and
I don't remember.
school.
I think when I was a kid, they didn't have that maybe. I'm not sure.
So they
that
have.
was a long time ago.
You might have heard. They might have heard it. Maiwi. There's also Gypso, which is like orchestral.
Yeah.
Maiwi was all like wind ensemble.
Oh yeah.
And we used to. It was like a by audition thing. And yeah, it was over at NEC. We rehearsed every week, and then have a concert every like semester, I want to say, or every season.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of there were a lot of kids that played at a high level in that ensemble. It was a good time. Yeah.
And Joe's also engaged to be married.
I am. Yeah, we'll get married this summer. I'm very excited for that.
Beautiful fiance.
Yeah, Evie. Yep, she's the best.
Yeah.
I love you very much.
Yeah.
I love you very much.
Good plug there. Now bands. So it's interesting. Joe and I. Well, I am also a rep for David French Music Company. And when Joe first came on, he rode with me, and so we would check each other out, and we would listen to all different kinds of music. So I'd say, like, man, check this out, and Joe would say, check this out. So I learned a lot about. I love art, all kinds of music. I do,
Me too.
So yeah. So but Joe turned me on to like some other stuff. I have a son that I know a lot of. Yeah, well, I don't say this.
Oh.
I know a lot of young people. Anyways, Tell me
young
about
cats,
these- young
people,
cats.
you know,
yeah,
they're into like the
right. I'm sort of stuck in this. I go up to like the mid '70s. But anyway,
not a bad place.
Not
to
a
be.
bad. No, actually, the '60s were very cool.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't really remember the '60s, but anyway, so.
So like bands like
yeah.
that. I mean, a lot of people have probably heard of guys like Lettuce and Snarky Puppy. And
Yeah.
I'm into this one band called Naughty Professor that's like really hip. It's just kind of like the extension of that whole, taking jazz to that new modern level.
Like fusion,
More
beyond
fusion, yeah. So you got the jazz, and then you put some funk and some groove on top of that, some through composed stuff, some world music. Just shake it all up, and get some good cats to play.
And you're in a couple of bands like that. I wish we had thought to have some recordings of that.
Oh no, that's cool.
No, the bands are killer.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm in one band called Strange Changes. Plug.
Keep them plugs coming.
Yeah, they're great. It's the Strange Changes is like the brainchild of the leader. His name's Tom Dowd, and he's the guitar player and the singer, and he composes and he arranges, and they're just these compositions are crazy. His main influences are like Zappa, Mingus. And have you heard of Mr. Bungle? You ever?
No.
It's Mike Patton. He's a singer, more modern guy. Yeah. So
that's an interesting.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
So what ends up coming out on the other side is a big fusion of a lot of jazz fused with funk and like even like math metal and like all
math
these
metal, math
metal. So like think like a lot of Odd Time and stuff like that, but with like kind of like a metal vibe, so like distortion and stuff like that. So like Dillinger Escape Plan is a good example of that. So, but Tom just he arranges the stuff and orchestrates it in such a way that it ends up being kind of hip. He gets a lot of music school kids, like a lot of Berkeley kids playing that band, and some kids from McGill. It's
you can
it's
see that on YouTube.
Yeah, you can get us on YouTube and Spotify and stuff like that. And we're always playing around. So.
Yeah, Joe's always working. Joe's always.
A little slow, right?
So
summer's coming. I'm in another band as well called Mother Tongue. They're an original band.
Is that with the piano player? Who's the guy that moved to New York?
That's Strange Changes. That's his name's Edwin Lorama.
Okay.
He's Berman player. Yeah. This other band I'm in is Mother Tongue, and they're out of. They originated in Beverly, Massachusetts, is where they came out of, and there's a really cool music scene up there, man. Some really cool like original bands and acts that come out of there.
Oh, cool.
That this group that I'm playing with, the members that are involved have really been involved in that sort of musical kind of like I don't know. They're like a catalyst for the music scene up there. They're all in each other's bands and stuff.
Yeah.
And Mother Tongue is like a funk jam rock kind of fusion kind of thing, and just extremely charismatic. The lead singer Ryan Davison is someone who I really look up to as a vocalist because he is like so much energy, and it's great. Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
His name was Joe Romano. He always used to say, I want to quote him right. He used to say, "It ain't the mouthpiece, it's the mouth." So there's that end of it.
Yeah.
There's that end of it, and then there's and then there's these marvelous players that I know, that are playing two mouthpieces a gig, and searching and so everybody's different, So
for sure.
Let's see what else. I guess we can talk about. Well, I had written down service rep, but we're service reps.
We're service reps,
and
we do the same thing here.
We do the same thing.
We see our teachers.
Yeah, we see our teachers. We help them out. We visit our schools, weekly, and.
I'll be in Maine Allstate next week.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
And
we'll
just take care of business. And,
exactly. Yeah.
So that's it.
Essentially, it's just always putting the teacher first. I mean, just do it. Do what you got to do.
We always talk about, our mission is to make, supply the best we can for the students, regarding instruments. They always have an instrument to play. If there's ever a problem, we bring out loaners and...
Well, it's like Eric said last week, it's just all about making your job easier.
Making the teacher's job
easier.
And
we say a lot.
The students
and the students
too.
You
know, they're the main focus, really.
Yeah, it's like the core philosophy, really.
Yeah,
we're all on board. So
we're all on board.
So
anyway, so let's see. So we're going to do a little thing for you guys.
Let's do a thing.
Yeah.
Let me talk about this trumpet real quick. Sorry, I don't want to drag it on. So are we doing straight now?
Go.
Okay, so we're gonna play a tune, Straight No Chaser. It's a blues. So I'm gonna play my trumpet, which is a great trumpet. It's a workhorse, amazing. And then halfway through, I'll switch to this guy. This is the Vizzuti artist model Yamaha trumpet, and it's my favorite trumpet that we have here at the store. It's amazing. It's some of you might get this or might not or have experienced this before, but it's one of those horns that it wants to play itself. It's great. You play it and you don't want to stop playing it because it's such a joy. So that's my Vizzuti plug. They're not cheap, but they're really good.
Should we stand up for this?
Okay.
Might as well. All right, so this is another iReal book brought to you by iReal book. We're going to try to see if we can pull this off. This is a count off. This is iReal book, and it's Straight No Chaser,
yes,
written by
Monk. Right?
Monk.
Yeah,
I knew that.
I think so.
Okay, let's do it. There's a two. Here we go. We didn't do the floor. You were supposed to play the trumpet first, and I blew it. Anyway, it's all good.
That's jazz.
We'll do one more. We'll do one more. We'll do one more chorus. No head out. I don't care.
Yeah, play that one.
I'll play this one.
Here. Let's just play that one.
Turn up the BPMs a little.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Okay. Anyway, no, I'm sorry.
That was amazing.
It was a great idea.
Tuesdays with Tony is all about. It's just mayhem and chaos. That's what.
Anyway, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks so much for having us, and see you next time. Yeah, bye bye.